Hey, how's it going there, YouTube? This is Yaso here. So today I want to talk about the Double Counterattack team. First off, what is the Double Counterattack team, and why do we use it? So Double Counterattack means that you're running two champions on your team that can put up counterattack. Currently in Raid Shadow Legends, only 3 champions can put up the AoE counterattack on your entire team. That is Valkyrie, Martyr, and Skullcrusher. With the exception that Skullcrusher can put up counterattack on your team except for himself. So a double counterattack team consists of any 2 variations of the 3 champions, and sometimes even running 2 duplicate champions, such as 2 Valkyrie, 2 Martyr, or 2 Skullcrushers. I'm here to show you how the double counterattack rotation works. Alright, so let's jump right into the battle. Alright, so I'm running the slow version of counterattack. That's why my team didn't get their turn before the clan boss. However, the cool thing about the double counterattack team is that you only lose that first turn. And you can basically start using your champion's abilities right away. So I'm going to be using Tyrell's A2 to put up that decreased defense right away. And then Brawler will put up poison, or try to. And then let's just use Norog's A3. And for Skullcrusher, you don't want to put up his counterattack buff yet. That's because we still have Martyr going up next. So for now, let's use his A1. And now it's Martyr's turn. We want to put up his counterattack buff and the increased defense. Another thing to note is that the increased defense will also add tankiness to your team, so that they can survive the clan boss's A3 for, whenever the battle gets longer, then this increased defense will help your team survive that AoE attack for a longer period of time. So let's put up this counter attack buff, and then the clan boss goes, and our team will now counter attack with their A1. And then it's back to our turn. So for now, what we can do is we will just use their abilities. Alright, let's go A1. I'm gonna just use that. And basically, we don't want to use Skullcrusher's counterattack buff right here. We're gonna go ahead and use his A1 because we want to save this for the AoE attack. So we could tell that by looking up here. Basically, if you see a 2 and a 3 here, that means that the clan boss's next attack is going to be his stun attack. So that stun attack attacks one enemy and places a stun debuff for 1 turn. And also the debuff cannot be resisted, and then damage inflicted is proportional to the enemy's max HP. And I'll cover that in a little bit here. Alright, so we're just going to use this A1. And now we're back to Martyr's turn. Another important thing to note is that because the increased defense and the counter attack buff is up on my team for 2 turns, then basically what is going to happen after Martyr attacks, then the clan boss will attack Norog. Now, Norog has his ability that prevents himself from getting stunned. That's why I have him as my lead, and that's why he's also on the team. So what Norog is going to do is Norog will be able to counter attack. In the later rounds, the defense up and counter attack will help Norog survive because it makes him tankier, and also allow Norog to counter attack and gain back some health. Just like that. So now we're back to the beginning of the clan boss's attack cycle. And how do we know this? We know this by looking at the ability. So you see a 1 up here, and then a 2 here. So that means that the clan boss's next attack is going to be his A2, which attacks all enemies and places a 2.5 poison debuff for 2 turns. So before the clan boss's first AoE attack, what we want to do is when we get to Skullcrusher's turn, we want to put up Skullcrusher's ally protect and counter attack buff. So for now, we'll just attack the boss. Alright, so here what we want to do is we want to put up this counterattack buff. Alright, and it also it places an ally protect on your entire team. So keep this in mind. In the later rounds, Skull Crusher does really take a beating, so it's very important to build Skull Crusher tanky. And now it's Martyr's turn. We'll just go ahead and use this A2 here. And then our team counterattacks. And from here on, what we can do is we can actually auto, but then let me just use everyone's A1 and get to Martyr's turn, because I want to talk about her real quick. Okay, so we're back to Martyr's turn. We want to put back up the counterattack buff and increase defense. Again, as I stated earlier, the increased defense will allow our team to be tankier when taking that AoE attack. So when Martyr puts up this buff, then your team will have both the ally protect and increased defense up. Later in the rounds, it will help your team survive a few more rounds. Because Martyr goes after Skull Crusher, then she will lose the ally protect after she puts up her buff, and we can see that here. So if we look at this here, she has one more turn left of that ally protect. After her turn, she will lose this ally protect and this counterattack buff. However, she's going to put a counterattack buff back onto herself, so we don't have to worry about that part of it. So because she will lose ally protection after this here, you know, we are building our Martyr to be very tanky so that she can survive as long as the other champions. Also, Skull Crusher will not be taking extra damage when Martyr gets hit because the ally protect is not on Martyr. Sorry about that. Let me pull the screen back out. There we go. And also, this helps Skull Crusher to stay alive in the later battles. Alright, let's put up the buff, and then we can auto. So let's look at a few more turns. You'll see that my setup will allow my team to always have counterattack on. That is everyone except for Skull Crusher, and that's because he doesn't put counterattack on himself. And this is exactly what the double counterattack is. It runs 2 counterattack champion, and it allows your team to have a 100% uptime with the counterattack buff. For every clan boss attack, your attacked champion will be counterattacking back. So how do we tune our team to make this work? So let's take a look at this. In a clan boss attack cycle for a double counterattack team, it goes like this. Your team gets their turn before the clan boss's first AoE attack. At this time, you want your faster counterattack champion to put up the counterattack buff. This is the counterattack champion with the faster speed. Your slower counterattack champion saves their counterattack buff. After this, the clan boss will attack with its A2, also known as the first AoE attack. Your team will counter, and then it comes back to your team's turn after the counterattacks. Now, you want your slower counterattack champion to put up the counterattack buff. Then the clan boss will use its A3, and your team counters again. And then the turn comes back to your team. Basically, before the clan boss's stun attack, any attack pretty much works here. If you run a champion that can put up the block debuff buff, then this is where you want to set that up so that your champions, whoever that target is, will be able to block the clan boss's stun attack. And after the turn, the clan boss will use its single target stun attack. And the cycle repeats itself, and you can start and click auto. If you're running the slower counter attack setup, like I am, then your cycle fully starts after the clan boss's first stun attack. Here's an example for speed tuning. For a slow counterattack setup like mine, you can run your faster champion with counterattack buff at 172, and the slow one at 171. The other 3 champions can be anywhere from 173 to 189. They just need to be faster so that it allows your team to maximize the 2-turn defensive buffs that comes with the counterattack. In my example, it is ally protect and increased defense. At the bottom is my team speed. My martyr is my slower counterattack, and Skullcrusher is the faster one. My other three champions have speeds that are faster than both of my counterattack champion. So if we go back to the previous image, my Skullcrusher is the first champion to put up the counterattack for the clan boss's first AoE attack, and my martyr puts up her counterattack up for the clan boss's second AoE attack. This way, you will always have counterattack up. For a faster counterattack setup, as long as both your counterattack champions are 191 speed or higher, but slower than your three other champions who are used for different roles, then the setup tuning that I talked about works exactly the same way. Now let's talk about the clan boss's stun attack. To maximize your damage, you want to run a champion that can block the stun debuff. In my case, I was using Norog, who is immune to the stuns. There are a few champions in Raid Shadow Legends that can put up the block debuff buff on your team. Two popular ones are Sepulcher Sentinel and Grizzle Jarl. When using these champions, you want to put up the block debuff right before the clan boss's stun attack. That way, when your champion gets attacked, then your champion is able to counterattack back because your champion is not stunned because it blocked the stun due to the block debuff. Alright, and that's all I have for today. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to speed up this clan boss battle to double the speed. At the end of this video, I will also show some screenshots of this double counterattack team so that you can see the damage potential that this team is able to put out. Also, before I forget, please go ahead and like the video and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any questions or comments for me, then please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you.